Virginia Tech game has been postponed due to what Virginia Tech is calling COVID-19 issues. The Hokies will also pause football practices for 4 days. They're now going to open their season on September 26th against NC State. The Cavaliers had an open date set for that weekend, so they don't start their season now until Clemson on October the 3rd. The ACC says it is working to reschedule those games. Coming up, how Michael Porter Jr. is backing up his own word.
What do you think it'll be like for you on opening night?
It may not be what we expect, but hey, the other team's there. They're here to win.
Everybody acts like we want to play for the money. This is about the players.
We want to play. We want to do it safely.
These guys are safe to do it.
This is all starting to feel a little bit more real.
We're just trying to have a shot.
College football is back. The fans are back in a virtual capacity here. We have fan signs. I like that. Go Tar Heels. We're keeping the gloves up. There's one about Spencer Rattler from an Oak State fan we're probably not going to mention. Wake Forest represent College Game Day in the land of the Demon Deacons for the first time in program history. That is where we find Kirk, Herbstreit, and the College Game Day crew in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Ahead of this matchup tonight, the Tiger tussle, the top-ranked Clemson Tigers come a-calling. Kirk, this week marks the start of the season for so many Power 5 conferences, but really there's an issue facing any quarterback at any school. Given the fact that you played in that position, what is the biggest challenge here for these quarterbacks coming off of an off-season unlike any other?
Randy, great to be with you. Great to be out on the road with College Game Day this morning here at Winston-Salem. I think timing is always a big thing for any quarterback, right? Let alone when you miss a lot of spring ball. Some of these quarterbacks didn't have any spring ball. They weren't able to necessarily technically get together till the middle of the summer. And so I think the experienced quarterback has an advantage, has a leg up, because he'll write and communicate. He'll text the guys, hey, we're going to get together over here. There's no coaches involved. We got to be smart about how we do this with masks on. And I think you build that continuity and you build that timing away from coaches, and you hope that the experience of the past will help the veteran quarterback. So I think the guys with experience, you would think, at least on paper, coming into the 2020 year with everything going on, would have a leg up.
And you've got a great experienced quarterback there come a-calling on Winston-Salem. It's Trevor Lawrence. Let's get to Clemson, who's the only team to have made the playoff each of the past 5 years. They've also had at least one scare, though, or a loss outright against an unranked opponent in each season. 2015, it was against Louisville, just a 3-point win. And then the following year, Tigers lost to Pittsburgh. It was a nail by 43-42. Pitt scoring the final 9 points of the game, including a game-winning field goal in the final seconds. 2017, Dabo's squad fell to Syracuse as 23.5-point favorites. That remains Clemson's biggest upset loss in our data set, which goes back more than 40 seasons. 2018, Orange were thinking upset again. Even larger underdogs. They led by 10 in the fourth, but Clemson rattled off 14 unanswered points, including Travis Etienne's last-minute touchdown. Then just last season, it was North Carolina scoring a touchdown, down by 7 in the final minutes. Mac Brown rolling the dice, went for 2. Tigers stood tall, though, and escaped with the win. So, Herbie, notable unranked opponents on Clemson's schedule this year. Right now, tonight, Wake Forest. Then you got Virginia, Miami, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Boston College, Florida State, Pittsburgh, and Virginia Tech. Now, with apologies to the Citadel certainly fit that criteria. Those unranked teams, which one, in your estimation, is most capable of pulling off an upset?
Well, first, I think it's worth noting why this happens to a team like Clemson. The bar is so high, the expectation is so high, that it's very hard to bring your fastball when you're winning and getting to a playoff every single year, and they know that. It's all you have to do is take your eye off the ball 1 week, and a lot of times it's against that lesser opponent, and you become potentially vulnerable. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, you know, they're human. And so if you look at their entire schedule, I think they run the table, but if you look at their entire schedule, I think it's late. You know, a trip to Tallahassee, and especially, I would say most notable, a trip to Lane Stadium against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech and Justin Fuente, they've got some athletes. They got a quarterback that played well last year in Hendon Hooker. So I would say, and by then, Virginia Tech may be ranked, but I would say, at least on paper here early in the year, I would look at Virginia Tech because it's a road game and because they have some talent.
All right, now before we say goodbye, Herbie, we know that Coach Lee Corso will be part of the show today. He won't be there in person, so we have a special message from him to you. Watch this.
Dear guys, working from home is tough. I have to do everything by myself. My days are long and hard with no one here to help. Give my best to the team. Well, I gotta run. Lots to do.
Night, Joe. All those burgers coming.
Hey, man, if anybody deserves that, it's LC. That is beautiful. He'll be on the show all 3 hours, having fun. I just talked with him. He's fired up, pacing, cup of coffee, moving around, studying his notes. So he'll be on the show this morning starting at 9.
And he's far from alone. He's got all the mascots there to help him out. Kirk Herbstreit, we appreciate it.
Exactly.
Enjoy the game tonight. It's good to be talking football, good to be gearing up for football as well. College Game Day coming up right here on ESPN at 9 Eastern Time.
We do have some breaking news this morning. Next Saturday.